Good morning. My name is Greg Bonewald, and I have the pleasure of serving as superintendent of Wimberley ISD. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, our administration, our teachers, our staff, and our students, it is a tremendous honor to welcome all of our veterans and their families who have joined us today for this very special ceremony. It is our sincere hope that this program will honor every veteran here today and across our great nation and provide the recognition that their tremendous courage and selfless service rightly deserve. To begin our program, I would like to introduce several distinguished guests who we greatly appreciate for joining us today in honoring our veterans. From our Wimberley ISD Board of Trustees, Secretary Lexi Jones, Trustee Andrea Justice, and Trustee Joe Malone. From the City of Wimberley, our Mayor, Gina Fulkerson, and our new City Administrator, Tim Patek. From the City of Wood Creek, Mayor Jeff Roscoe. Our Hays County Justice of the Peace, Andy Cable. Hays County Sheriff, Gary Cutler. Hays County Precinct 3 Constable, Don Montague. Our Hays County, sorry I lost my spot, guys. Our Hays County Sheriff's Office and Kyle PD Honor Guard. Wimberley Assistant Fire Chief Christopher Robbins. VFW Oldham Cummings Post 6441 Representative John Stoley. VFW 6441 Auxiliary Senior Vice President Sarah Love. WISD Assistant Superintendent Jason Valentine. And to my left, our distinguished guests, our veterans. We are fortunate to have the Hays County Sheriff's Office and Kyle Police Department Honor Guard with us today. They are joined by local Boy Scout Troop 127 for the presentation of our national and state colors. After the presentation of colors, we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Danforth National Junior Honor Society President Carlisle Carter, followed by the singing of the national anthem performed by members of our junior high and high school choirs. At this time, please rise for the presentation of the national and state colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, our Wimberley High School Texan Band will perform the Armed Services Medley. We invite our veterans to stand and be recognized when your branch is represented in the song.
Good morning. At this time, please join me in one more round of applause for our very talented choir and band students. It is my absolute pleasure to recognize the following Wimberley ISD staff and trustees who are also veterans of our armed forces. And when I call your name, please stand. United States Army Board Member Nathan Cross. Ashley Martinez. Dawson Moyers. Lewis Titus. Elizabeth Wager. Christopher Wilhelm. United States Navy, William Bo Bowman. John Griffiths. And Alex Marish. United States Air Force, Board Member Ken Strange. Rick Long. United States Marines, Jorge Montemayor. And Yvette Sutton. To each of you, please know that we are grateful for each of you for your dedication and courageous service to our country. Thank you. We would also like to recognize that continuing that culture of service that our veterans here today have displayed during their lives is vital to our great country and remaining for generations to come as the land of the free and the home of the brave. For this reason, we want to take this moment to also recognize our most recent Wimberley High School graduates who have enlisted to serve our country following their graduation last May. So these are last year's graduates. In the United States Army currently serving, Dylan Stafford. Preston Ibarra. In the United States Navy, we have Isaiah Huerta. And John Tate Murphy. United States Marines, Mason Tice. Thank you to all those individuals.
At this time, I want to share a brief article entitled, "What is a Vet?" that was written by Anthony Barton Hinkle and first published in 1995. What is a vet? Some veterans bear visible signs of their service: a missing limb, a jagged scar, a look in the eye. Others may carry the evidence inside them: a pin holding a bone together, a piece of shrapnel in the leg, or perhaps another sort of inner steel, the soul's alloy forged in the refinery of adversity. Except in parades, however, the men and women who have kept America safe wear no badge or emblem. You can't tell a vet just by looking. He is the POW who went away one person and came back another, or didn't come back at all. He is the anonymous hero in the tomb of the unknowns, whose presence at Arlington National Cemetery must forever preserve the memory of all the other anonymous heroes whose valor died unrecognized with them on the battlefield or in the ocean's sunless deep. He is the old guy bagging groceries at the supermarket, palsied now and aggravatingly slow, who helped liberate a Nazi death camp, and who wishes all day long his wife were still alive to hold him when the nightmares come. He is an ordinary and yet an extraordinary human being, a person who offered some of his life's most vital years in the service of his country, and who sacrificed his ambitions so others would not have to sacrifice theirs. He is a soldier and a savior and a sword against the darkness, and he is nothing more than the finest, greatest testimony on behalf of the finest, greatest nation ever known. I've heard that and I've read that many times, and yet every time I read it, it hits me. We are so grateful to the service of our veterans, those who've allowed us to live the life that we can live today. Students, you've been an amazing audience for this program. I'm going to ask you for your help. I know each of you love your family dearly, and I suspect many of you have a family member who has served or is currently serving our country. Having attended a few of your recent pep rallies in this gym, I know you're capable of making a lot of noise. So for our veterans here today, and loud enough for the veterans in your families and across our community to hear, would you please take this opportunity to provide the loudest cheer of appreciation you can muster up right now for our veterans? That was an A+, guys. Excellent. It is my distinct honor now to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Ken Strange. Mr. Strange, yep. Mr. Strange moved to Wimberley in 1985 after 4 years of service in the United States Air Force. He joined the Wimberley Volunteer Fire Department in 1989 and began volunteering with the Wimberley EMS in 1991. Mr. Strange became a full-time paramedic with Wimberley EMS in 1996 and was named the director of Wimberley EMS in 2004, where he continues to lead today. In addition to his long tenure of service protecting our community through decades of emergency situations, he has also provided thoughtful, steady leadership as a Wimberley ISD school board trustee since 2008, currently serving as the board vice president. Mr. Strange lives in Wimberley with his wife Yvette and is the father of 2 recent WHS graduates, Kennedy in the class of 2020 and Hallie in the class of 2021. As I can tell, many of you here today know Mr. Strange personally from his many years of dedicated service to our school district and community. We are immensely blessed to have him as a community leader. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Ken Strange.
Thank you very much. All right, how is everybody? Well, I have to admit I'm a little nervous this morning. I was your second or third choice, I'm not sure, so please bear with me, okay? This kind of came at the last moment, and I had no idea what I was going to talk about. But then I remembered I only have one story to tell, and that's my story. That's how I got here. And so I'm just going to kind of go through that real quick with you. I'd like to do a really quick history lesson of why we're here today. We're here for Veterans Day. And Veterans Day is a federal holiday that's meant to honor all veterans of the uniformed services who have served or are still serving during times of peace as well as war. It started in 1919 with Armistice Day, and then in 1938 it became a federal holiday, and in 1954 Congress, at the urging of the veterans organizations, changed the name to Veterans Day to honor service members who have served in all the nation's wars. And then I knew that I would get one of these red poppies this morning, and I didn't really know what that was all about. So I had to do a little research on that. So I just want to go quickly through that and read this poem. The poem is called In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, and sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrels with the foe, to you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If you break fate with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. This is written by John McCrae in, let's see, I have the date here somewhere, in 1915. And the VFW picked this up in 1924, and they're called buddy poppies, and it's because of this poem right here. And also, our friend Lily Warren from Wimberley High School painted this beautiful mural back here on the wall, and I just want to give her a big credit right here. So y'all give her a big hand. Thank you, Lily, and it's such a crazy thing because they didn't know I was going to talk about this today. And I called my friend Alan and I said, hey, can you put these poppies blowing on the big screen? And he was like, we're not going to have the big screen this year. But it worked out perfect that that is there. All right, so that's where the poppies come from. That's what Veterans Day is all about. And so now I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I grew up in Sumter, South Carolina. I was born in 1959, and I had 3 brothers who went to Vietnam at the same time. One was in the Air Force. He was an air traffic controller. I had a brother in the Navy. He was on the USS Ranger. And I had a brother who was in Vietnam, and he was a ground pounder. And I'll never forget one dark afternoon. It was raining, and we had the U.S. Marine Corps car pull up in our driveway. And I watched my mother fall to her knees, crying, because she knew it's never good news when the Marine car pulls up in your driveway. And the 2 men got out, and they came to our door, and we had to pick my mother up and take her to the kitchen table. And they sat down and let us know that my brother had been shot in the head in Vietnam. He was still alive, but he was wounded. He put him in the hospital over in Okinawa or somewhere. I was 10 years old, so please forgive me, I don't remember. But then he came to Charleston, South Carolina. He was in the hospital for over a year trying to recover from his wound. And we would go and visit him. So it took a long time for him to heal, and he got better. And we thought he was back on the road to recovery. And he was a school teacher by trade. That's what he did before he went in the military. And he went back to teaching school. Well, somehow the wires in his brain had gotten crossed from being shot in the head. And his life spiraled downhill quickly. And my parents ended up taking care of my brother for the rest of his life. He passed away 8 years ago. But he could not manage on his own, couldn't take care of himself. So war is a hard thing. War affects more than the veteran themselves. It affects whole families, okay? So when you see a veteran or you see these men walking around town, you be sure and thank them. These guys were in the war right here. They couldn't be in the VFW without being in the war, okay? So every one of them need for you to just say hello and thank you for your service. And I do thank you guys for your service. Well, my life had kind of fallen into disrepair. I had a little disease called alcoholism. And when I was 21 years old, my 3 brothers who had been in the military, they pulled me into a room and they said, if you don't do something different, your life is not going to be good. And so they all decided that I should go in the Air Force. And I did. I went into the Air Force kind of out of self-defense. And I got into the Air Force, and my life, somehow, the Air Force didn't fix my alcoholism. So I had some problems with alcohol for another 3 years in the Air Force. And then all of a sudden, as life will spiral out of control, somehow, some miracle, some way, something touched me, and I was able to put alcohol down at 24 years old and start to become with a sober mind. And I've been sober since then, so a long time, however long that is. But I want to say that it's the military that really saved my life. It brought our family together. It kept us together. And it really helped me to understand what being a responsible citizen was all about. It took me a long time to figure that out, and I hope it doesn't take you that long to figure out what being a responsible citizen is. I stole from society for a long time with my antics and my selfishness and my craziness to be touched and brought back into society. And I've tried to pay society back since then by doing what I can to be privileged and blessed to live in the greatest city, in the greatest state, in the greatest nation in the world. That's an honor for me to be able to do that, and it's an honor for me to stand up here and talk to you guys. So this brings me to my point is, I hope that you can understand that it's kind of a responsibility of ours to be the best us we can be. And that means serving our school districts, serving our teachers, serving our friends, serving our fellow citizens, serving our city and our state and our nation. So if you can just try to be the best you can be, then your life will be well. Serve others and move forward. And I wish I had a better wrap it up than that, but I don't know where to go with that. So thank you guys very much for your time.
You know, I tell everybody I meet that this is a very special community, that there's something different about Wimberley in the best possible ways. And you just saw that represented, because what makes this place so special is the heart of this place. And people like Ken Strange exemplify that heart. Can we give one more round of applause for Mr. Strange, please? Now I'm going to ask that we all stand and join in a moment of silence in tribute to our departed veterans, with special remembrance of VFW Commander John Thompson, who we lost just this past year. Please then remain standing for the playing of taps. As we conclude our ceremony, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to our students in the audience for being an amazing audience today. I want to say thank you to our staff that's here with them for doing everything you can to take care of them each and every day. I want to say thank you to these community leaders on my right for being leaders in this very special place and for getting up every day to have a positive impact. And most importantly, I want to say thank you to this group to my left, our veterans. We want to make sure you know in this community, you are loved, you are valued, you are appreciated, and we are grateful for your service now and forever. Thank you very much. Students, the moment you've been waiting for, you get to go back to second period. Thank you so much. Have a great day.